Oh no, how did she find herself in such a dire predicament? Stay with me until the very end to uncover how we resolved this complicated case. Let me take you back to the events that led up to this situation. On December 30th, 2024, she made the decision to get a nose piercing. Unfortunately, the piercer she chose performed the procedure in a shoddy manner, placing the piercing in an improper location and using a gun method, which I strongly advise against for any body piercings. To add to her misfortune, the type of stud that was used for the piercing was completely inappropriate for a nose piercing. The piercer informed her that after 3 days, she would need to replace the initial stud with one of her choosing. However, upon attempting to do so, she encountered immense soreness and was unable to remove it, prompting her to wait a few more days in hopes that the discomfort would subside. Unfortunately, the situation worsened and the stud began to sink painfully into her nose. The first step I needed to take was to disinfect the area, even though it was no longer a fresh piercing. Proper cleaning is crucial, and it does not cause harm, it's simply a necessary precaution. At this point, the stud had become incredibly embedded in her skin, specifically situated within the cartilage of her nose, buried deep within the delicate tissue. I had to carefully reposition the stud to make it accessible for removing the small stopper that was lodged far behind the nostril. This represented the most challenging aspect of the procedure, addressing a stopper situated at the back of the nose. I understand that some may question why I didn't just yank the stopper out, but doing so would create a negative impact on the surrounding tissue, forcing the stud deeper into her cartilage. Therefore, I opted for the precision of forceps, using them skillfully to carefully maneuver and delicately dislodge the stopper to prevent further damage to her nose. At last, I was able to extricate the stud, an enormous relief for both her and me after a lengthy ordeal. Amusingly, she had been so anxious that she feared leaving with a large hole in her nose. She even suggested we insert a new stud immediately, but I had to advise against it, as doing so could have posed a risk of embedding it further into her tissue. Instead, we proceeded with a new piercing on the left side of her nose, ensuring proper placement this time. I believe you can notice a significant difference in the positioning and the quality of jewelry used on her nose compared to the infected area on the right side, which I assured her would heal within a month or two. My final advice to all of you is this: please never use this type of stud for any piercing other than an earlobe. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Please remember to subscribe, share, and hit that like button.